Hello, I'm Jonathan Granoff. I'm the president of the Global Security Institute. I'm here in Greenland at the edge of the polar ice cap. A few years ago, this was almost a mile high. The magnitude of the melting is impossible to imagine. You have to actually see it. And we know that as this continues, it will dramatically affect the very survival of the human family. I believe that cooperation amongst the nations of the world and the peoples of the world is absolutely essential to give us real security, climate security, security for a future. But as long as we're threatening each other with nuclear weapons, as long as we pursue security by threatening the ultimate destruction of the planet, the maturity and the reality of cooperation to deal with the reality of what's happening behind me is unlikely to occur. So I work for the abolition of nuclear weapons, and I see that it is inextricably interconnected with protecting our climate. I want to give the microphone to a man who's lived here his whole life. This is his home, to give you a sense of the reality, the human reality of what is actually taking place in the northern part of our precious planet.
My name is Angaangaq, and it means the man who looks like his uncle. Thus, most people call me uncle. I am from Greenland, and this is my land. And I'm standing on the edge of one of the many, many thousands of fingers of the big ice, which holds my land. But that big ice, because the way you and we have lived on Earth, has begun to melt uncontrollably, and no one can stop it anymore. Now we have come to the point that the security and the safety of humankind is at stake. Right now, we're just waiting for some finger to be pressing on a button which will destroy Earth. Of course, we pray that it will not happen. At the same time, it is so important to realize what you and we have done by living here on Earth without taking care of her. This wall, as my friend Jonathan told you, was a mile high not too long ago. Now she's about 200 feet. And the river next to it, right now, it just started melting the other day. Now she's coming down from the big ice with one single river carrying about 1 million liters per second, which of course impacts everything else out in the big ocean. The ocean is rising 1 millimeters a day from the rivers of Greenland. There are 10,000 of them. So thus, it's threatening you and I. Time has come to create hope for every one of us. Jonathan and I, we cannot do it alone. When many other people, without coming here, are doing things without seeing the severity of the impact it's having on Earth and human life and animal life and the plant life and the mineral world. Without them, we cannot exist. And the water is becoming scarce. Right now, this water is running out to the ocean, which will not be able to be used by anyone for countless generations to come. So now, I invite you to really think, not in your mind anymore, but rather out of your spirit, to do something about the climate change. Security of us depends on that. Of course, at the same time, we had to fight those fingers who are pressing the buttons which will destroy planet. Ho ho.